But here we are tonight. Hopefully you'll feel inspired and educated after tonight's session to get out there and do some really good lobbying, because that's really where we're at this moment. So, quick rundown on the schedule for tonight. So first, Mark McAfee from Organic Pastures has been very kind and generous to give his time to us today. He's here in Australia on holidays, and he's spent several hours today with the producers, which I'm sure has been a very fruitful session. Mark's going to tell us a story about his very successful raw milk business. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to play out, but I'm sure it's going to be very entertaining and informative, and really a shining example of what a safe, healthy raw milk industry can look like. And really that's what we should all be encouraged by, because that's, I'm sure all of us, that's what we want here in Australia, and that's what we need to tell our regulators about and politicians. Next we're going to have Jasmine from ARM, who leads our political team. So they've been working very hard on getting together their lobbying and briefing document. I would like to take this opportunity to thank David Horwood, who has worked tirelessly on getting that briefing document together, and I really can't state how important that document is to help everyone go out and meet with your MPs. And Jasmine's going to instruct us on exactly how to go about doing that. So for those of you that haven't seen them, they're on our Facebook page. We didn't have the resources, unfortunately, to print out copies for everyone. So hopefully you can just go onto the ARM Facebook page and find them and print them and take them off when you set up meetings with MPs. And then lastly, I'm going to provide a very quick update on legal progress that's been made. And that's it. So I think I'll just hand over to Mark. I don't think he needs much more introduction from me. Thank you, Mark.
Well, I'll start off, I'm not on holiday. I love the way you say on holiday. We don't say that, we call it vacation, but we're not on holiday. We're actually here for the International Milk Genomics Consortium meeting. That's a long-winded way of saying frustrated PhDs that are trying to make better breast milk for infant formula. And they're going to be meeting up in Sydney this next week. And my wife, who's sitting here with this evening, Blaine, is here. We'll be attending our 4th International Milk Genomics Consortium meeting and learning all the best new science about breast milk and raw milk, and down to the genomic DNA level, and find out all the good stuff that the processors would like to take out of raw milk and put back into dead processed milk and get some medical value from. So we listened to all these very frustrated PhDs for the better part of a week, have lunch with them, and listen to them, and they secretly say that they love raw milk, but they can't publicly say it because they lose their grants if they do. So it's interesting that that dynamic occurs. The founder of that organization is Dr. Bruce German. He's from California. We've had lunch with him and talked with him, and he says I can't say his name in public because he gets slammed whenever I mention his name publicly about raw milk, but nonetheless he's a good man, let's put it that way. Yes, Organic Pastures Dairy has been very, very successful. And I don't know if you've heard in the news, but I was given some shocking information right before I got on the jet to come here, about 6 hours before I got on the jet, that I was under recall. Now, I haven't had a problem like that in like 5 years, but they found a Campylobacter bacteria in one of our bottles on routine testing. We have a very, very good food safety plan at Organic Pastures Dairy, and we're listed by the Raw Milk Institute, but we don't test for Campylobacter in the udder. We test it for outside the udder, the environmental. And that's been, majority of Campylobacter found in the world is found in the environment, not from inside the udder. It's considered to be a very rare thing. So we didn't worry about rare things, we worried about the common things. Well, obviously, we had one cow out of our 550 cows at Organic Pastures Dairy that had Campylobacter mastitis, which is very rare. So our food safety plan is taking another little notch up now that we found that we have Campylobacter mastitis that can happen in our herd. But because of modern technology and the VAX PCR technology, we were able to identify that cow in 36 hours. We're back off recall now because we knew exactly who that cow was. She's out of there, and we're back to good. So food safety plans work very, very well, and there's no reported illnesses associated with this in the state of California. So the bottom line is, there may be a speed bump here and there, but it's how you handle it, it's how you go forward. Because we have 700 stores throughout the state of California, and tens of thousands of consumers that are overjoyed at the fact that they can legally get low-risk, safe raw milk and enjoy it for their families. So it's a really compelling story that in California, raw milk's always been legal. There's never been a time when it was illegal. So we have a culture of a pretty mature milk system that includes raw milk for human consumption versus just raw milk for pasteurization. Because here in Australia, you're stuck with one definition of raw milk. It all has to be pasteurized. And they don't give a definition or a standard or a measure for raw milk for human beings versus just raw milk for pasteurization. I have to completely agree. Raw milk intended for pasteurization should be pasteurized, and I wouldn't go drinking it because it's commingled between 50 different dairies, never tested for bad bugs, God knows what's going on. The farmers paid very poorly for it, so the expectations are very low. But raw milk for people, a different animal altogether. And in California, we have a set of standards for that. And I'm proud to say that I'm part of the Raw Milk Institute that actually has taken those standards, modified them slightly, and actually had them available for producers around the world. In fact, there's a producer in Canada that uses them, along with 8 producers in the United States. And there'll be more producers next year. And I hope maybe somebody here in Australia becomes a member and enlisted by the Raw Milk Institute, because it certainly brings you to a community of producers that can prove what they're doing and show that value to the public by showing the Raw Milk Food Safety Plan and the results of testing from that plan. So very exciting things going on. Just yesterday, David and myself and Dr. Ron Hull. Where's Ron Hull? Where's Ron? He's not here.
Going to get his phone.
Did he escape? Okay. We attended a meeting with the dairy food safety people, Janine over there, and it was very good. Of course, she doesn't change law. She doesn't make law. She just enforces law. But very interesting that she was fascinated by what we did in California. It was intriguing to her. She said something. She said, you know, my department's kind of bored to death. They kind of be excited by some new thing going on that they can maybe help out in terms of progress to be made. It'd be very exciting to have young people involved in some new project. So I think that it's prime time for maybe Australia to join your neighbor New Zealand, which has a legal access to raw milk. Wherever we see a lot of industrial pasteurized milk, we see a direct relationship with suppressed raw milk. In Wisconsin, for instance, in the United States, 12,000 dairies, but no legal raw milk at all. Not even access to raw milk with cow shares, because of the fact that processors don't get to process raw milk. It's unprocessed. It's about market protection and the fact that they want to have control of this cheap milk so they can make these value-added enhanced products to sell to people. Because if you have raw milk, that's highly value-added in its own right. And they can't create some magical wand that says your milk's going to be wonderful and safe from factory farm milk that's commingled together. They can't do that magically. You can't fake raw milk. It takes hard work. It takes ingenuity. It takes creativity. It takes protocols and testing to do a good job with raw milk and know what you're doing. And industry can't do that, because when they do that, they call that pasteurization. And to quote a famous International Milk Genomics founder, who I will not say his name, he said, pasteurization is an 18th century solution to an 18th century problem. We can do a lot better. We have the technology, we have the know-how, we know about conditions, we know about the genome of the milk. We know about the incompatibility of pasteurized dairy products in children, because children do not have a developed digestive tract. They need the whole food of the raw milk. Breast milk is raw milk. So there's a reason why breast milk has up to 700 different kinds of bacteria, including pathogens from healthy breast milk. There's a reason why it's enzymatic rich and full fat. It's because that's what an infant, a mammal, needs to thrive and survive. It's the first food of life. To quote Ron Schmidt, or Mike Schmidt, he said, raw milk is love and it's war. Because it's the first food of life, it's what we give our babies to thrive. It's also war because we have to fight now to get it. So it's a place right now in a little benchmark in history where raw milk in New Zealand or Australia is being fought over. But we all know what we love, its value. And I would encourage you to get together as a group, you already have with ARM, but get together even further and listen to your lobbyist advisory this evening and band together as a group. Because the one thing I've got, the most powerful thing I have in my war chest, even though I try to make peace as much as possible, is the moms and the truth. The other sides might have the guns and the money, but I got the moms and the truth. And you win every fight with that, because you bring forward the truth, and the moms say he's right, and we'll die for him because we need it for our families. So we see this battle going on, and it's truly a battle when you have mothers saying, I want this food for my family, and somebody says you can't have it. Oh my gosh. A mother lion and her cubs. So you need to become that fighting force that gets behind your producers, that are well organized, that have a plan, and can prove their plan works. And we offer the Raw Milk Institute to you as a proven international plan. It's got 9 producers internationally now. It's only been around 4.5 years. But it has the data. And it's associated with producers in Germany, and producers in other parts of the world, in Italy, that have actually proven that over long periods of time you can produce low-risk, safe raw milk for the masses to really enjoy. Also, don't forget the great science coming out of Europe. The Parsifal study, the Gabriela study, the Pasture study, the Koala cohort, the LMU study that came out just last year, all showing that you have a dramatic reduction of asthma, allergies, eczema, ear infections, and colds with children that drink raw milk. And the tremendous gifts to mothers that drink raw milk during pregnancy. Because when you measure the cord blood of the delivered baby, what do you know? The IgG, the high immunoglobulin rates that actually protect the child for life from asthma. In the United States, tragically, 11 children die every day from asthma. But you got the university studies in Europe show that asthma truly is reduced dramatically with children that drink raw milk. So lean on the science. Moms, dads, families, get behind your producers. Producers become organized. Create a good proposal. Go in and propose it seriously, firmly, fairly, professionally, and ask for them to support you. There are ways you can do it without them legalizing it. There's cow share programs that can be done. It's done as a model in Colorado, for instance. They have the RMAC, the Raw Milk Producers of Colorado, who've done a great job. Raw milk's illegal in Colorado. There's 120 places you can go get it, and it's legal there on the farm if you own a little bit of the farm and a little bit of the cow. So there's many ways to skin this cat. There's many ways to get raw milk. I just had raw milk, a nice glass of it, about 30 minutes ago. I loved it. I have not gone anywhere in the world where I couldn't get raw milk. So raw milk truly will survive any of this crazy stuff we've got going on. The Queen of England drank raw milk to about 102 years of age and died of whatever she died of. But the bottom line is, good enough for the royals, it's good enough for you. And it's certainly, we know now how to produce raw milk in a low-risk, safe environment. And I would say we don't guarantee perfection. It's not possible. Cantaloupe in the United States just killed 34 people in the last year and a half. And we've had 80 deaths from pasteurized cheeses, ice creams, and milk in the last 35 to 40 years that's recorded. We've had 0 deaths from raw milk. We've had 2 people die from raw milk cheeses brought in from Mexico, but that's their problem, not American raw milk. So the history, yes, we've had a few illnesses here and there, but no deaths. And the bottom line is we can produce raw milk. We can get together as a group, and we can have the producers and consumers get together. I would also encourage you to form an association of legal support so that you can fund good judicial attack to protect yourselves legally. And it's very hard for one person to have enough money to do that. But if you do it together, $20, $30, $40 a piece, let me tell you, you can amass a lot of money and a lot of power. We've done that in the United States effectively through the Farm and Consumer Legal Defense Fund. And you can do that here too. You're doing it here?
Yeah.
Great. It's one of the many strategies you put together to actually effectively bring raw milk forward. So I did have a PowerPoint that I presented to the producers today, and they were there. We had a great discussion for about 3 hours. And I shared my experience in raw milk with California and what we do with our fairly mature raw milk history of always having raw milk for sale in California and having the regulatory structure and how it can be normalized. So the producers have all seen that PowerPoint. We talked in depth about that. We also took questions, had a great dialogue about baby steps to go forward in Australia. The elements, the DNA is here. You can do it. I'm fully confident you can do it. I know you can do it. I feel it. I can sense it. I can taste it. It's there. The raw milk I had 30 minutes ago was absolutely delicious. I could taste coliform levels. It was fantastic. So it's up to you as a group to stand up, show up, and speak up, and make your government accountable to you, the consumer. The one thing that's happened here, and it's really tragic, is industry decides for you what you're going to eat. It's time for you to decide, as a consumer, how your dollar is voted, and support that and absolutely attack. Go after it yourself, responsibly, appropriately, non-violently, if you can control yourselves. But do the best you can to go forward and actually propose good proposals, and be there. Show up. Show up at the meetings. Request them to be part of the solution. If they can't, then do some of the way. But they can be a great part of the solution, and they are bored to death what they're doing. They need something exciting to do, and this is exciting. This is fun. This is healthful. It brings tremendous value to raw milk. Value that it hasn't seen in 75 years.